One of the great things about cycling is you experience teachable moments almost every time you ride. Today we're going to have a quick look at motorists turning left across bike lanes. Let's start just by watching this clip from a recent ride of mine. The vehicle we're watching is the white Hyundai hatchback that I just overtook. Yeah, okay, not my best comeback. Let's look at it in a bit more detail. Firstly, have a look at the car stopped in the bike lane on Land Street while they look at their phone. That just typifies the lack of care and respect many motorists have for painted bicycle lanes, and why we say paint is not infrastructure. So, as I'm approaching the lights, I can see the vehicle ahead with the left indicator on, and I know there's a slip lane there. I expect they'll turn before I get there, and I'm correct. Now the lights have turned green, so I get pedaling again and quickly gain on the vehicles in the left lane. I overtake the Hyundai at this point. You can see I stay in my lane all the way around the corner. At this point I'm right alongside the Hyundai and again slightly pull ahead. I see the blue hatch start to indicate left and the tailgating highlights behind it also doing so. At no point had I been in front of either of those vehicles, so I decide I will hang back and let them turn. Now the Hyundai driver has accelerated to get in front of me and put their indicator on. This is an aggressive move saying I want to turn ahead of you, but I'm not having it. I continue rolling at a speed to allow the Mazda and Hilux to turn, but again get in front of the Hyundai, who then turns behind me as they should. The driver wasn't happy about this and yelled some kind of reprimand at me that I couldn't understand, and being in a triggered mood, I reacted with something equally unintelligible. So what do you think? Was I in the right or the wrong? Well, depending which way you look at the Queensland road rules, you could say both. The Hyundai driver I think would like to cite Rule 141 at me, which says, the rider of a bicycle must not ride past or overtake to the left of a vehicle that is turning left and is giving a left change of direction signal. And yes, if you freeze it at this point, he is ahead of me and indicating left. But on the page, Sharing the Road with Bicycles, the Department of Transport and Main Roads says this: if a bicycle rider is ahead of you and you want to turn left, turn behind the bicycle rider. Overtaking and cutting off the bicycle rider is very dangerous. The Hyundai driver very clearly accelerated to try and overtake and turn left in front of me. You can see on the road markings the bicycle lane continues through the intersection with dotted give way lines. As the department website says about bike lanes, you must give way to bikes when moving into a bike lane, and that includes crossing one. So if drivers have to give way to bikes in bike lanes, why didn't I just plough on past the Hilux and the blue hatchback when I saw them slowing down? Well, at no stage was I ever in front of them, so I had no idea if they knew I was even there. It was much safer for me and better for traffic flow if I just hung back and let them turn first. And why didn't I do the same for the Hyundai driver? Well, had I let him turn ahead of me, I would have had to stop in the bike lane altogether. Then if any other traffic was coming from behind, I would have been in a very vulnerable position. The driver of the Hyundai could, and should, have simply held back and turned behind me as they eventually did. Now, am I wrong to think that the Hyundai driver should have seen me? Well, let's have a look. You can see they had plenty of opportunities to see me, but it's very noticeable that they don't really move their head at all in this whole video clip. They stay fixed, looking straight ahead, locked onto the vehicle in front of them. This is poor. If you're driving in an environment with multiple lanes, bike lanes, footpaths, side streets, you need to be doing proper observations and planning. Be aware of what's on your left, right and behind you, not just what's in front of you. Ride safely, drive early, and I'll observe you out on the road soon.